Hey, how's it going, everyone? Hope y'all are doing good, because today we're diving headfirst into a pile of gaming disasters. Not the fiery kind, but the ones filled with bugs, broken promises, and gameplay that makes you question your life choices. These are the games that were hyped to the moon, backed by big names, and somehow still managed to flop harder than anyone thought possible. So if any of these are sitting in your wish list, save yourself the regret. This is the top 10 worst-rated games you should never play. Let's get into it. Number 10. Balan Wonderworld. Man, I actually played this thing, hoping for some kind of magical platformer experience. I mean, it's made by the creator of Sonic, right? But what I got felt like a tech demo from 2003 wearing a sparkly jacket. The controls are stiff, the level design is flat-out boring, and get this, every costume you wear has only one ability. One. And they mapped that one move to every single button. No joke. It's like they designed it for someone who's never held a controller before. The cutscenes are bizarre, the music feels like a circus fever dream, and the whole game just never clicks. Square Enix wanted a new icon. Instead, they gave us a reminder that no amount of glitter can cover up bad gameplay. Balan Wonderworld? More like Balan Wonder Why I Bought This. Number 9. Vroom in the Night Sky. I swear, I downloaded this thinking, okay, maybe it's a cute little arcade game for the Switch launch. Can't be that bad. Oh, it can. It absolutely can. You ride a magical flying scooter through the night sky. Sounds kinda chill, right? But then the controls hit. Floaty, unresponsive, like trying to steer a shopping cart on ice. The missions make no sense. The translation feels like it was run through Google twice, and the dialogue? Straight up nonsense. It's like the devs were making a game about making a game, and gave up halfway. There's no real goal, no real reward, just a weird, empty world and regret. Out of all the Switch launch titles, this one somehow made 1-2 Switch look like a masterpiece. Skip it, unless you enjoy paint and pastel. Number 8. Babylon's Fall. From the studio behind big hits like Bayonetta, Babylon's Fall had people excited. But when it finally came out, it was a total disappointment. The graphics looked outdated, like something stuck in last console generation. Combat felt slow and repetitive, which is the last thing you want in an action game. It was also a live service title filled with grinding and microtransactions, but nobody really wanted to stick around. The player numbers dropped fast, and the servers shut down less than a year after launch. Babylon's Fall didn't just fail, it crashed and burned spectacularly. Number 7. Left Alive. This game promised a fresh take on the mech survival genre, tying into the front mission universe. But instead of delivering, it felt like a buggy, half-finished mess. The gameplay was clunky and slow, like wading through molasses while trying to sneak past enemies. Graphics looked outdated, and the level design was confusing, making it hard to stay engaged. On top of that, the story was all over the place, leaving players scratching their heads more than hooked on the plot. Left Alive ended up feeling more like an unfinished prototype than a proper game, and definitely not worth your time. Number 6. Ride to Hell, Retribution. Where do we even start with this one? Ride to Hell promised a gritty biker action game, but delivered an unplayable disaster. The controls were clunky and unresponsive, the story was a confusing mess, and the cutscenes? Honestly, they felt like something out of a bad B-movie. Glitches popped up everywhere, enemies behaved like cardboard cutouts, and the gameplay was repetitive to the point of boredom. It's hard to believe this game actually made it to release. Ride to Hell didn't just miss the mark, it completely crashed and burned, becoming a cautionary tale in how not to make a game. Number 5. The Lord of the Rings, Gollum. This was supposed to be a fresh take on the Middle-earth universe, focusing on one of its most iconic characters. Instead, it turned out to be a buggy, clunky mess. Controls were awkward, animations were stiff, and the level design felt uninspired and repetitive. For a game centered around stealth and agility, it ironically made sneaking around frustrating rather than fun. The story tried to add depth, but got lost in confusing side quests and inconsistent pacing. Fans of the franchise expected a gem. What they got was more like a shiny rock with nothing inside. Gollum is proof that even big names can drop the ball hard. Number 4. Rambo, the video game. You'd think a game based on one of the most iconic action heroes of all time would be a guaranteed hit. But Rambo. The video game missed the mark on every level. Instead of fast-paced, explosive combat, we got an awkward on-rails shooter with clunky controls and laughably bad AI. The graphics looked outdated even at launch, and the voice lines, ripped straight from the movies, felt completely out of place. The whole thing played more like a broken arcade machine than a modern console game. It tried to cash in on nostalgia, but ended up disrespecting the legacy it was built on. Simply put, John Rambo deserved way better. Number 3. Battlefield 2042. This was supposed to be the big return of Battlefield. Massive maps, futuristic warfare, and chaos on an epic scale. But what we got at launch? A broken, unfinished mess. Core features were missing, hit detection was unreliable, and bugs were everywhere. Vehicles glitched out, soldiers floated through walls, and the UI looked like a last-minute school project. Fans were stunned. This was a franchise known for polish and scale, and suddenly it felt like a beta test gone public. EA and DICE did patch a lot over time, but that first impression? Brutal. Battlefield 2042 didn't just stumble out the gate, it face-planted hard in front of everyone. But it cannot be denied that at this time it is quite good and is loved by many people. Number 2. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. Tony Hawk games used to define an entire era of gaming. Tight controls, awesome soundtracks, and that addicting arcade-style fun. But Pro Skater 5? It was a complete letdown. The graphics were rough, the physics were broken, and bugs showed up faster than you could land a kickflip. Tricks didn't register, the gameplay felt rushed, and online features barely worked. Worst of all, it had none of the charm or energy that made the original so beloved. It felt like a soulless cash grab riding on the name alone. For fans who grew up with this series, Pro Skater 5 wasn't just a bad game, it was heartbreak on a skateboard. Number 1. Infestation, Survivor Stories. Few games have crashed and burned as hard, or as publicly, as this one. Originally launched as the War Z, it promised an open-world zombie survival experience. What players got instead was a buggy, broken, borderline scam. The game was full of pay-to-win mechanics, missing features, and false advertising. Servers were unstable, hackers ran wild, and the developers? They doubled down instead of owning up. The backlash was so massive, the game had to be renamed, twice. Even then, it never recovered. Infestation isn't just a bad game. It's a lesson in how not to treat your players, your product, or your reputation. Number 1 on this list, and for all the right reasons. And that's the list. If you've dodged any of these disasters, congrats, you're a legend. Don't forget to drop a like, hit subscribe, and let me know in the comments which game you regret playing the most. I'll see you in the next one.